So let's just keep calculating in chess. So today we have a very simple endgame with a lot of checks, a lot of forcing moves. And endgames are some rules, like for example, opposition. For example, my king is in front of you, and if you move, I get to enter because my king was just very close of entering. But in this position, like in every single endgame, we have forcing moves. So we have to calculate because the rules and explanations always come on the second plan. The very first part of everything is calculating the forcing moves you have on the board. If I'm playing poker with you and I know every single card you're having in your hands, it's very simple for me to take a decision. It's almost a no-brainer. It's the same in chess. If I'm calculating um, in a very dubious way and I'm trying to understand what are your ideas all about, then I could be finding even the greatest ideas ever. If I do not calculate what's concrete, it doesn't matter that I'm Magnus. I will blunder and I will lose, like Magnus sometimes loses. He also sometimes loses due to some deeper calculation mistakes. He's not blundering in the opening right away. He's blundering after 40, 50, 60 moves in Blitz against some 2900s on chess.com and very rarely against some grandmasters, but he is sometimes also blundering due to some calculation mistakes. And it happens. Sometimes you make calculation mistakes because you're not focused at all or because you do not calculate at all. This is why you have to keep in very you have to stay extremely objective with what is happening with your chess. This position, I see that I can capture. If he captures back, do I have some other forcing moves? I do. I can capture on g4. If he captures back, I capture. Come up 2 pawns in the pawn game. It should be winning. Why? Because when I'm evaluating and explaining with words what is happening, I just realize that, wait, actually I'm up a pawn. And being up a pawn in the pawn game is good. So I just capture, capture, okay, he surprised me with king f6. Of course, that's the engine. If you miss king f6, this is not a forcing move. You're not dead or anything. But if you just capture and you realize that the forcing moves that you just saw are not good, then this is avoidable. King f6 is not doing anything. Okay, I capture. Now I have to calculate. What if I go here? What if I go there? If I go here, he can just capture on g4. I'm not sure about that. Let's just play king f3 to keep defending the pawn. And now let's just keep calculating. If I captures, he capture back. Then I have g4, king e5, king e3. Okay, he cannot go back this way. And if he goes that way, okay, this is a good question. Captures. I can go h4. Maybe I would just play g4, by the way. With g4, you do this, and now at some point, you will just lack, how is it called again? You will just fall into no position. I just want to check very quickly just to make sure. Sometimes we don't know what things are all about, but I think this is just winning, right? King e3, king d5. Okay. I guess the engine just goes on g3. Yeah, I think that's the way to play in this position. And then you play h4 at some point, right? Yeah, I mean you're up a pawn, so why am I even thinking? I'm sorry that I just lagged. I don't know. I can't explain why. But basically you're up a pawn, so you create a pass pawn. You just have to be careful to not allow the king to go there, but it's a g pawn, so it's winning. All right. Anyway, thank you for today. See you in the upcoming exercises. Take care.